Sir, may I come in?
Please come in.
Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Moksh. Moksh or Dilip?
Moksh Dilip Ranawat, sir.
Okay, but what is your name?
Sir, Moksh Ranawat.
Moksh.
Yes, sir.
First name is your.
Yes, sir.
Please have your seat. Moksh Dilip Ranawat. Basically, Ranawat belongs to which place originally?
Sir, Rajasthan.
Which part of Rajasthan?
Sir, I belong to Pali district in Rajasthan.
Pali.
Yes.
Pali is somewhere, which area, which part, Aravalli?
Sir, it's near Jodhpur side.
Okay, on the opposite side of Aravalli.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever visited Pali?
Yes, sir. When I was a child, I visited my village.
After that, you never visited your village.
No, sir.
Okay. Famous personality Ranawat? Who is? Do you have some idea? Some bankers or something?
No, sir. I know one, sir. My own sister, Pooja Ranawat, is an IRS officer. So, she's the only famous personality with the Ranawat surname I know.
No, but there is some banker, famous Ranawat banker is also there, I don't know. Pooja Ranawat, which year she cleared?
Sir, 2017 batch.
17. Okay, okay. So, much age difference is there between you and your sister?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What happened to your father?
Sir, I lost my father last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who supported you during studies, sister?
Yes, sir. She guided me.
Okay. You are a law graduate.
Yes, sir.
It would be better that you should be a lawyer instead of civil servant.
Sir, being a lawyer is a great field in itself, sir. But I chose to become a civil servant, sir, because as a lawyer, sir, the greatest limitation a lawyer has is that he has to interpret the law, or he has to function within the bounds of law. So I wanted to work in something where I could be a part of policy implementation. And that is why I chose civil services.
You can go for the judicial services also. There also you can reach up to, say up to even sometimes Supreme Court Justice also.
I could, sir, but I thought this is the field I would be
Have you
best suited.
ever applied in the judicial services also?
No, sir.
You don't have any intention of applying over there?
No, sir. I did not want to be a judge. I think at this age, I am not the right person to judge.
No. You can be. Okay. You are a business administration and law. So you have a business administration in your mind also, because people from Rajasthan, they are more business oriented also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And law, how law will be helpful while you will be either in foreign services?
So in foreign services, sir, I think the general understanding of law itself allows me to be a very dynamic personality. From family law to space law, I was taught everything which law can cover. So if I am in the foreign services, sir, I can ensure that I have an understanding of how international rules and regulations, international law regarding many subject works, may it be the Vienna Convention on Consular and Diplomatic Relations, or Vienna Convention on Law of Treaties, or matters with regard to extradition or asylum. I think I will have...
In the international level, we have common law and then specific law.
Common law and civil law, sir.
That is means specific laws.
Yes, sir.
Common law throughout India, but for humanity or something like that, what for environment or something like that. And then the specific laws in relation to reason and reason, or whatever the race is, something like that. So how these common laws, earlier we had common laws in India also. Slowly and slowly they don't. Nowadays, we have Nyaya Sanhita, Samhita, something like that. So we are diverting from those, from the British era to our own era. Do you think this will be a challenge to the common laws also?
Sir, I think while we have amended and upgraded our criminal laws, our base structure is still based on common law, because common law itself is a it's a part of it's a subject of law which applies to common law jurisdiction countries which were part of the UK colonial empire. Now with the criminal laws coming up, we yet have a adversarial mode of system in terms of how we govern law, not a civil law jurisdiction. So these laws might be amended, but our base structure of how we look at the legal system is still common law.
Section 125 CRPC, it's very important. Recently, when there was something Shavano case or something like that, it came into. Then judicial system said that why separate rules for women in Muslim or something like that. How do you see that we are criminal law that is entering into the religions also? How do you see about it? Even many people in that community, they raised objections also. How do you see?
Sir, I think there are two parts to this. First is that section 125 of the CRPC ensures maintenance for women who might be from any religion, but it is a basic safeguard provision. So it ensures gender equity. Coming to the second part, sir, of whether personal law should be interpreted within the structure of constitutional law, I think, sir, the recent judgment by Mr. Chandrachud in the Sabarimala case had very rightly said that the ghost of Narasu Appa Mali must be exorcised, in which he meant that personal law should now be read within the framework of the constitution so that gender equity is of paramount importance and it is upheld.
So it is within India, it is constitution. It is not something else. And in the constitution, it is equality. Equal before law and equality for all the law. So that is the point. So even if the something not given to the gender, particular gender, that religion cannot control over here because it is equality. Okay, moot courts should be promote moot courts outside the court also in order to make the people aware of what are the rules. What is your take? Because it is always there only to the young law graduates or something like that. But in the general public, we don't know what are the rules, and the ignorance of law cannot be is not maintainable. So how do you see that people don't know what are the income tax rules, what are the custom rules? So what do you think that should be now have a moot court laws or a rule and regulation awareness camps to the general public? Only then we can think of implementing law.
Sir, I think moot court competitions are a particular type of competition for lawyers because it involves arguing a case from both sides as a prosecution as well as a defense. So that activity is more suited to the profession. But if we want legal awareness in the common man, we should try to go with more direct and mainstream measures. For example, legal awareness clinics, sir. As a law student myself, I've been a part of a few legal awareness clinics where we not only provide free legal advice, but also create awareness about rights at the ground level. So I think in this regard, sir, NALSA and the District Legal Services Authority, they must be promoted further. Legal awareness must be raised by them as they can be the right body to channelize this.
We have Nyaya Panchayat or something at the Panchayat level also. But their rule and regulations, they hardly know. It is a general convention. Okay, this is wrong, this is right. So there, how can we enter all the legal applications of these rules, judgments? People sometimes even they don't want to see the black coats also. How to have just a confidence building here toward law and something like that. How to make it implementable?
Sir, I think one good solution could be we could introduce a Good Samaritan policy where we nominate a few people in the panchayat who are supposed to be the main people who will promote legal awareness. We can make them somewhat like a brand ambassador and we can ensure that they have the power to spread the message. And we can have these award ceremonies or a general felicitation measure to incentivize them. This way,
carrot and stick. Those who are not still obeying, how they can be motivated? Okay, now you obey them. how people, those who are still hardliners, okay, we don't want to, these rules are not there. General people, we are cultivators, we are just villagers or something. We don't want to have the rules or something. We want to have only local just customs or something like that. How to satisfy in the tribal areas? There they don't accept the rules and regulations. How to make them satisfied? No, you have to apply these rules. How you can go with the general people?
Sir, I think at a fundamental level, to make sure that people obey the law, there must be strict implementation of the law. Because without the fear of a sanction, sir, no law can find its true implementation. So when it comes to breaking of laws, sir, if we implement them sincerely, people will have an understanding that yes, we have to follow it. And this must be coupled with awareness, so that we are punishing those who are willingly violating the law rather than those who have violated law out of mistake.
But this is because of we have to follow the regional languages. That will certainly help them understanding the. Otherwise, we have many terms. In science also, it's very difficult, and we go always with the English. If we promote all these ideas or legal through in their own language, then they will understand. So that is the point. Okay, my last question to you is, recently, yesterday night only, Mr. Trump has said that, okay, we will make this Mexico canal or something like that as an American canal. How can it happen? It is in some other area, in some other country. How don't you think that it is just a big brother type of talk or decision he has taken?
Sir, I think the decision of Mr. Trump to rename Gulf of Mexico as Gulf of America is one which has more to do with psychological impact. For he wants to show a positioning that America is again a political hegemony, and it will try to show its power, especially to its neighbors. Because sir, Mr. Trump also has a policy of stopping immigration which comes from Mexico. So maybe that hard stance has been taken. While he has made this statement, sir, I have not seen any active measures thereafter for the change of name. So it yet to be seen what will happen in the future on this, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now, Moksh, you've written about a paper on arbitrability of civil fraud.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So can you tell me what were your observations and what was this paper about?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, arbitrability of civil fraud deals with matters of fraud which are arbitrable under a contract. So the Indian Contract Act under Section 17 defines what a fraud is. And these frauds can be of two types. One are those which affect the parties themselves and they have a contractual basis, so they are arbitrable. The others are those which are of criminal fraud. They can be a criminal breach of trust, maybe under Section 405, or a cheating case under 415. So those cannot be arbitrated upon because they have a criminal intent. And any criminal law hurts or impacts the society at large. So they are non-arbitrable. In this particular paper, ma'am, I had analyzed a judgment of HSBC versus Avitel Post Studios. And that particular judgment was the one which evolved the public flavor standard. And I had written on this and published it in Oxford, ma'am.
Okay. So, does this mean that criminal matters cannot go for arbitration?
Yes, ma'am. Criminal matters cannot be arbitrated upon.
Even criminal matters of small impact?
Yes, ma'am. They cannot be arbitrated.
Okay. What are the other alternate dispute redressal mechanisms that we have?
Ma'am, there are four major ones at the domestic level. There's arbitration, conciliation, mediation, and negotiation.
Okay. What are the advantages and disadvantages associated with arbitration?
Ma'am, there are umpteen advantages. First is party autonomy. Parties can decide who should be the arbitrator. Okay. Second is confidentiality, that the matter stays put. The arbitral awards are not published.
Okay.
Unless parties give consent. And third, ma'am, is it's a quicker mode of resolution. At the same time, ma'am, there are a few disadvantages. The first would be that an arbitral award requires enforcement in the civil court.
Okay.
So once we get an award, we need to go to the courts. Second, ma'am, Section 11 has been a very contentious issue in Arbitration Act. That when a party is unwilling to appoint an arbitrator, then one must go to the courts. get an arbitrator appointed. And again, the arbitral award can stand challenged under Section 34 of the Act. So these are some issues.
Okay. Now, India recently, last year, had also announced something with regards to arbitration and global arbitration in the country. What was this?
Ma'am, a 2021 amendment was brought to the Act in order to introduce the New Delhi International Arbitration Center. So that was to promote commercial arbitration, institutional commercial arbitration in the country, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Now, you've also mentioned at the initially that a judge has a limited purview where he has to interpret the law versus a civil servant who deals with policy. So are you trying to say that the role of a judge is smaller or less as compared to, or a legal officer as compared to a civil servant?
No, ma'am. I think both are supreme in their own spheres.
Okay.
The task of a judiciary, or if I meant as a lawyer, my task as a lawyer would be to interpret the law. And I have to stay in the bounds of law in order to make sure that I can do justice to can bring justice to my clients. But the task remains, ma'am, that one cannot go beyond the letter of law.
Okay.
As a civil servant, ma'am, I can be a part of policy implementation and at later stages, maybe policy framing. So I thought in my life, I want to reach at that level where I can truly be there and help people at the grassroots in framing good policy, ma'am.
How do you see your knowledge of law as a law student? You've done 5-year course. How do you see this helping you become a good officer?
Ma'am, I think the first and foremost thing is that since I have a sound understanding of law, I can implement it in whichever role I get. May it be an IAS, IPS or a foreign service officer. Second, ma'am, I have a better understanding of how to navigate the judicial corridors. In the sense, how a system of law works, how I'm supposed to present a case. If I'm a police officer, I'll know what a charge sheet is. What are the sections and offences under Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita? I think those technical nuances might help me better.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Moksh Dilip, you have a very good academic record. You have studied in Mithibai College.
Yes, sir.
Right. What is unique about Mithibai College in Bombay?
Sir, Mithibai College is one of the most famous colleges in Bombay. It is located near Juhu and it is oftentimes called the college for actors and actresses like Alia Bhatt, Ranbir Kapoor. They are alumni of the college. Another reason why it's famous for, sir, is the food stalls which are near the college. In terms of historical significance, sir, Lady Mithibai was the person who owned the land and the Sri Vilepalli Kelvani Mandal had taken the land from her. She was a social reformer, so she gave away the land free of cost for education of children. So I think that is why it is also famous.
Yeah, good. You have a keen interest in stock market analysis.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between X market and OTC market?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
What is the difference between X market and OTC market?
Sir, OTC market from the term I understand is over-the-counter market. I am inferring, sir, that this is generally with money market or with instruments which are of short-term nature. Sir, I'm not aware about X market.
Okay. Who is a jobber?
Sir, a jobber, this term brings to mind, sir, the people who used to run around on the floor of the trading center and execute trades which were told to them.
Okay. And who is a depository participant in stock market?
Sir, CDSL and NSDL are general depositories. So I am inferring that they are the depository participants who hold the stock for the person who has purchased stock.
Okay. You are born in South Goa.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between South Goa and North Goa?
Sir, South Goa is more, in terms of development, sir, North Goa is ahead of South Goa. North Goa is very well known for its beaches, while South Goa is very well known for its higher agriculture and more village lifestyle. Sir, one more major difference is that South Goa has a Mormugao port. So it is a more port and trading hub. Fishing is a very important industry in South Goa. Whereas in North Goa, sir, there is beaches and shacks at the coastal zone, while there is the Mollem National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary on the eastern side. So These are the major differences, sir.
What are actionable claims in Transfer of Property Act?
Sir, I can infer from this, but I'm not sure what the meaning means.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Sir, an actionable claim is one where a party has a certain right and it is in terms of property and they are trying to claim that right, maybe because they have ownership or ownership of the property and someone else has the possession. So that's why they're bringing an actionable claim to reclaim property.
Who give this concept of legal theory?
Sir, can I know more about which legal theory?
Legal theory term. Who coined this term legal theory?
Sir, I'm not aware.
Okay. Can you tell me the Austin theory of jurisprudence?
Yes, sir. So Austin was a positivist. He believed that law is a command of the sovereign backed by a sanction. So according to him, law must be codified completely and those rules must apply universally and they should be static in nature so that law is predictable as well as efficient.
Okay. Symbiosis has established a museum on Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Where it is located?
Sir, I'm not aware.
Okay. What is this analytical school of jurisprudence all about?
Sir, I've read upon it, but I can't recall the analytical school currently.
Okay. Sociology used to be a part of your 5-year course?
No, sir.
Economics?
No, sir. Economics, basic level economics, sir, yes.
Okay. Why you have done this business administration and law? What is the reason behind it? Why you have not pursued your pure LLB? Why this business administration and law? What is the reason behind this?
So there are two major reasons. First is I come from a business family. So my father wanted me to learn basics of business if anything goes wrong in life. The second, sir, I have always found that business allows you to have a more holistic understanding of finance. And I was very interested in that subject since beginning. So that's why, sir, BBA.
Okay. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. So Dilip, you mentioned about your sister, Pooja Ranawat. As far as I remember, she is one of the highest scorer. She was one of the highest scorer in PSIR, right?
Yes, sir.
And she cleared her examination in her 5th attempt.
Yes,
and
sir.
That was her first mains. So what you have learned from your sister's struggle in civil services preparation and how it has helped you in your journey?
Sir, there are 3 major things which I've learned. PSIR, she could have chosen any other field, but she was very clear with this. So I think those are the 3 qualities.
Great. What is the requirement of judiciary in the country? Why we need courts? Why we need judges? Why we need lawyers?
Sir, judiciary is one of the 3 foundational pillars which comes from separation of powers. Its task is to become the impartial arbiter of the country. It is to make sure that when a law has been framed and it is being implemented, its implementation is in consonance with the constitution. And to make sure that normal citizens are not punished arbitrarily. So the judge, the courts, the lawyers all exist in order to ensure that the common man gets justice.
Okay, then what is the relevance of things like Khap Panchayat, which are still there in states like Haryana?
So best to my knowledge, Khap Panchayats are not made by a legal mandate, but they are informal courts which do not have any legal backing. So I do not think that such courts should exist, sir.
But still then why people are resorting, why people go to Khap Panchayat to seek justice when we have a complete judicial system at our hand?
Sir, I think at a larger level, it is about how community looks at it. While the law exists, if people do not believe in law, then sir, a law cannot have utility. If people believe that informal decision making is how they want to pursue justice.
And the large population is there. And they follow how something from outside can enter into, a judiciary can enter into such large population. Is it possible that at least we should just neglect them?
No, sir. I don't think that neglecting them is the right approach. But Khap Panchayats overall, sir, show a trend where people are not yet acquainted with law or they are not yet used to the normal judicial process which was put in place after our independence, sir. So I think at a certain level, sir, that change has to be brought.
Okay. So there is this dictum like justice should not just be done, but also it is seen to be done. Who has given that? Do you remember the judge or the case?
Sir, I remember the judge, but I'm not 100% certain.
You can guess.
Sir, it's Lord Acton.
I think you should check on that.
It's Lord Acton or Lord Atkin, either of the two, sir, I think.
Okay.
And the line which is said that justice should not only be done, but seen to be done, is said in context of the principles of natural justice. That how a judge was sitting on a particular bench, and while he might not have had conflict of interest clearly, he should have still recused himself from the position, because even a slight tint of bias can hurt the impartiality of the judiciary.
Now we see our Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and Prime Minister Honorable Narendra Modi ji together for a Ganesh Puja. Do you think that is in consonance with this dictum? Should judiciary and executive be seen together for such informal occasions?
Sir, I think that here we need to make a distinguishment in professional sphere and private sphere. The fact that our Prime Minister...
But it was not private, it was telecasted.
Sir, then I was not aware of this fact, sir. But even then, sir, I think at a certain level, if somebody goes to a Ganesh Puja, that should not be a complete basis on which that they are not impartial should be made out. Because even in Mumbai, when we have Lal Bagh Raja...
But then great jurists have said that judges should maintain a distance.
I completely agree with you, sir. But I do not know whether it was right or wrong of Mr. Chandrachud. But here the occasion was such that it's a religious congregation and we have a positive secularism approach. So maybe they wanted everybody to join along, and this might have been an oversight on
What are
their
the
part.
prison reforms that we require?
Sir, may I?
What are the prison reforms that India require?
Sir, I think there are a few major ones. First, we need to increase the number of prisons because we have a problem of overcrowding. Best to my knowledge, we are at 130% capacity in central jails. The second, sir, we are highly understaffed. So we need to increase the prison, the people who work in prison, sir, the wardens, the other jail authorities. Third, sir, we need to really tackle the problem of under trials. Around 60 to 70% of prisoners in jails are under trials. So if we can have a measure in law by which they are released early or they are granted bail, then that will also ensure that no innocent is punished. So that one thing can be good there. Others, sir, we can integrate technology into prisons so that there is a better surveillance, there is better law and order management. These would be some reforms which come to mind.
Anything that you recall being done, a very innovative thing being implemented in any prison in India that we can replicate?
Sir, I can't recall anything currently.
Okay. So you are a stock market analyst. Okay. Are we living in a stock market bubble?
Sir, with the last 30 days approximately being a huge FII sellout, sir, I think if there was a bubble, it is no more existent because you've seen around 50,000 crore of pullout from FIIs. And overall, sir, I don't think that there was ever a bubble. Of course, markets have a tendency to overvalue or undervalue stocks, but this has been cyclical. Here, the stock markets have shown a tremendous rise in the past 3 years because India's economic growth has been that strong, sir. Again, a good factor has been that we are the strongest emerging economy. Our growth rate is at 7%, while the world's GDP growth rate is at 3.5%.
So post result announcement of Lok Sabha elections, there was huge loss in stock market of India. And some people have argued that, people were very optimistic of huge majority for current government. And that is also one reason why there was a huge crash. And there were some statements by very eminent politicians in that regard. So how do you see this stock market and politics related? And do you believe that eminent politicians should give statements, public statements with respect to stock market?
Sir, I'll deal this question in a twofold manner. Firstly, sir, about politics and stock markets, sir. I think stock markets overall, sir, have a tendency to act on major events, may it be politics, economics, or otherwise, sir. So that cannot be separated. Again, sir, politics influences economics, and economics is the lifeblood of the stock market. So a budget or an election mandate helps the market understand what is going to be the predictable future. So impact on the markets is very much relevant. So coming to the second part, whether public statements should be made by politicians on the stock market, sir, I think if they wish to make the statement, that is okay, but it should not be unpublished price sensitive information, or it should not be something which is leading to market distortion, sir, because otherwise it would be violative of rules and regulations on this matter.
Thank you.
Moksh, what I found that you are an excellent candidate. When is your interview?
So 31st of January.
31st, okay. See, time is there, and you need to grab still state or def, whatever you have filled, especially state, Goa, Maharashtra, whatever it is. Most important to you is learn something more about international relations and current events or whatever they are related to India, they are related to law or whatever it is. Practical part of the law and how to have a confidence building mirror by the common people about the law. We cannot, only 400-500 or some big lawyers, they are deciding everything at the moment. Or big families are there only in the judiciary or something like that. How, because whenever we say that law is being fought at some places, it is implemented at a place where people don't know what is the law. So how to have that confidence building here, that practical part of the law, that need to be there in your always expressions. How can we accept the judgment? How can we have a confidence what the judgment has been given? How they can be accepted by the common people? Only then we can say that, okay, न्याय सभी को मिला. Otherwise, होगा क्या? That it is only the words that left, and the people will, okay, no, we don't want to see the lawyers, or we don't want to see the niyam. Okay, we want to be hungry. We don't want to live in that fully field. But that is the part that need to be understood by you, and it should be in your always when the presentation or something in there before the board. Otherwise, you are an excellent candidate.
Thank you, sir.
Moksh, you have very good personality and very good articulation, as is also expected from a lawyer. Yes, you were thinking your answers through. And I will just say that maybe, the first question was why civil service and not practicing law. And wahan pe you can't degrade one service. You can't say that, oh, it is just very limited. You might want to rephrase your answer there because it gave an impression that law to, choti si cheez hai. See, it's a pillar of democracy, which you yourself said later on as a part of an answer. Yes? So this is some place where I feel you will have to work on your answer. Otherwise, everything was good.
Thank you, ma'am. I will definitely work.
Yes, because we can't say कि वो तो वो तो सिर्फ law के उसमें कर रहे हैं. वहाँ पे भी तो India has scope.
Correct,
we need good advocates. We need good judges. We need judicial reforms. Right? So this is some place where you will not be able to say कि वो तो it's just within the interpretation of law. Because even the law is not being interpreted.
Correct.
Right? There is need for good lawyers.
Yes, ma'am. I will work on this answer.
Work on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, everything was nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moksh, it's really very enlightening for us to have interaction with you. You have a very good personality. Your articulation is very good, as already shared with our chairman of our board and honorable member. The only thing that I can say to you is all the best. Do well in your interview. There are certain areas, because 31st January, you still have a 1 week at your disposal, right? You can just work upon more on your law side knowledge on current affairs, as already stated by my honorable chairman and member. Best of luck from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Deep, I think much has been said. I really like your confidence, your posture, your analytical approach towards answer. One thing that you can improve is sometimes brevity in some answers. Some answers were long, right? You can use words like firstly, secondly, thirdly, so that you can categorize how many points you are saying. So you will have an idea of how long you can go in any answer, right? Secondly, your hands, there are two positions. एक जैसा आपने किया है अभी, एक when you are putting them on your lap. So that is more preferable.
This one?
हाँ, this one.
This is better.
This is better generally.
इसमें sometimes when you are sometimes your that unknown ship or something like that, you will do like this sometimes. Here you can't do anything.
Actually, sir, this feels very yogic. So that's honestly.
This is basically an ease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you can yourself figure it out.
Yes.
You will understand that this is not a confident position, right? This is a submissive position in terms of psychology.
Yes,
and this is a good confident position.
Yes, sir.
Right. Second, as ma'am has already told that you need to work on that answer, why not lawyer? That is a very important thing. You need to work out and focus more on why you want to be a civil servant than why you don't want to be a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Right. And I think that is all from my side. You are a very, very good candidate.
Thank you, sir.
ओके, गुड लक। और अभी टाइम बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, बट अब प्रैक्टिकल इसको कैसे हम लॉ को सिविल सोसाइटी के बीच में ले जाएं, ये आपके दिमाग में रहना चाहिए। लॉयर और सिविल सर्वेंट, दे बोथ लॉ नो द लॉ, ओनली इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इज द पार्ट। लॉयर implement or tries to implement with force, and civil servant implements with confidence. So confidence building layer among the society has to be there as far as law is to be implemented.
Yes, sir.
इसको इस प्रकार से थोड़ा सा
Sure, sir.
You will certainly provided आपका रिटर्न अच्छा हुआ होगा, यदि आपका अच्छा ढंग से थोड़ा सा इस प्रकार से जैसे चला है, we expect your name into the list.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So do I. Hopefully. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All the
sir.
best.
Thank you, ma'am.